Hello again, it's Hammerdin. I'm back at you with some more Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls content. In today's guide, we'll be covering Seeker of Light, the new Crusader set, which absolutely does not disappoint. Shreds through Torment 10 and absolutely owns higher greater rifts. I've cleared as high as 50 so far, with ease, absolute ease, no issues at all. So in the guide, we'll be covering everything from the gear itself to the talents you want to use to gems, passives from your cube, everything you want to know. So yeah, guys, let's get started. So a few things before we get started, guys. If you have a look along the bottom of the screen, you'll see an interactive menu. If you get bored at any point in the video and you're not a phone user, you can just click on that. If you know about the section already, you can just skip it, essentially. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you do enjoy the video. Definitely appreciate it. And keep in mind, this is PTR. If anything changes from now until the end of PTR, I will put notes across the middle of a screen. So if you're like, huh, what? That doesn't make sense anymore. Look on the screen. It'll probably explain in a note, something like that. So yeah. So the first thing we'll be covering is Seeker of Light, the actual set. Brand new Crusader set, 6-piece, comes with really good set bonuses and some questionable ones as well. So pretty much your 2 set, every use of Blessed Hammer that hits an enemy reduces the cooldown of Falling Sword and Provoke by 1 second. Very simple. Provoke is used quite a bit to regenerate Wrath and also to nerf the enemies. There's other various runes. We'll go across those. So that's fairly strong. And the one that I don't like is cooldown of Falling Sword, which ties in with the 4 set. You take 50% less damage for 8 seconds after landing Falling Sword. I've yet to use that successfully. It feels too clunky for the build, and the damage, even though you get 250% from the 6 set, isn't very good. So I'm not sure if they'll revamp that or I'm using it wrong, but it doesn't seem good to me. You can see in the clips coming up, it's just meh. It's not great. The rest of the bonus is where it's at. So ignore the 4 set. The 6 set increases the damage of Blessed Hammer by 750%. This makes Blessed Hammer hit very hard, like ridiculously hard. So yeah, it's a good set. You can see it in use here. I mean, the damage, it's not letting us down. When my ring convention of elements procs, you see like 2 bill crits repeatedly, like every half second kind of thing. So yeah, overall good set. Few changes would be nice to see though. Let's have a look at the items which are kind of required for the set as well. So absolutely required items. Honestly, I think Gabriel's Van Braces are too good to turn down. Your attack speed gets so high that this is very crucial. So pretty much when your Blessed Hammer hits 3 or fewer enemies, 100% of the Wrath cost is refunded. So when you're against a boss, 3 or less enemies, you're casting it for free. Very crucial because you don't actually generate as much Wrath on a boss as you do on Trash. And with this build, we're not using a generator, which sounds crazy, but I'll show you more in the clips that it's, it works. Anyways, I think that's absolutely crucial to use at the moment. I don't have it equipped. I have it as my bonus slot, but we'll go about that more when we go into specific stats and things. The other absolutely crucial item is Guard of Johanna. It's the new Crusader shield. Blessed Hammer damage is increased by 231% for the first 3 enemies it hits. So again, on Rift bosses and elite packs, this really shines. 231% extra damage on the first enemies it hits. Generally elite packs if you're standing right in the middle, and always the Crusader, the Rift boss as well. So very nice. Now this one, I like it a lot. I've seen people not using it. It can be, I'd say with the build that I'm going to show you, it's crucial. Johanna's argument, yeah. It's the new flail, really good. Increases the attack speed of Blessed Hammer, as you can see, like, yeah, that. It's pretty insane. When we're using this build, we pretty much can't run out of Wrath. It's like impossible unless we manage our cooldowns incorrectly. So you're literally attacking like that all the time, pretty much. So yeah, those are the items that are kind of required. There's no real set other gear that's required for the build, but we'll go over that again when we go into specific stats and things like that. One final thing that you might crucially want on this build is Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. I think it was Season 3's exclusive, one of the exclusive items, but it reduces the remaining cooldown of one of your skills by 1 second every time you hit with a resource spending attack. So when you're attacking this fast, So what was that, like 15, 20 attacks or something? That's essentially 20 seconds off of your cooldowns shared between them all. We'll go down kind of mechanically into that a bit more, how to use it. But again, this is kind of crucial. I'm using it as my my collection item, my cube item, because the stats on it suck. So you probably want to do that. All right, guys. So moving on to the actual build. This is a really solid build, and it's doing me a lot of justice. I'm going to try... I'll probably hit like greater at 55, 56 on my gear today. It really wouldn't surprise me. Like 50, I finished with like 9 minutes or 8 minutes on the clock or something like that. So it's good. I can guarantee you that. Now you might be wondering, like, when we run out of wrath this fast, why we're not using a generator. And the answer to that is we're using Provoke. Provoke gives you 30 wrath, and then it gives you an additional 5 for every enemy taunted. So if you hit 5 enemies, you get 55 instead of 30. So pretty much with the set bonus, reduces the cooldown by 1 second, along with Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. The cooldown is immediately reset. Very, very good. Now, I'm using Shield Glare as well. You don't have to use this, but I find pretty much with Provoke, sometimes if you don't hit enough enemies, you still run out of Wrath. Even if it's for like a few seconds, you're losing so much damage. With Shield Glare in there, it's like a bit of bread and butter. With the Zealous Glare rune, you don't have this issue at all. Like, I haven't run out of Wrath yet, in the slightest. Like, literally, I've casted this quickly the entire time I've been playing with this build. So you can swap that out for whatever you want. Like, if you feel maybe your Wrath management is better than mine, it probably is, then swap it out for something else. I was using Consecration, sorry. I was using Judgment with Resolved. Now, this goes in complete synergy. This is in case you don't want to use Shield Glare, by the way. This goes in complete synergy with Laws of Valor, which is 100% crit damage. So you're getting 20% crit chance on everything. With, I'm so retarded right now. There you go. You get 20% crit damage plus 100% crit. Yeah, 100% crit chance with 100% crit damage. There we go. That's a really, really good substitute for that. You can also swap it out for your horsey. With like endurance or whatever you want, in case you want that extra bit of mobility. I'm sure like really high greater rifts, you're going to want to get around a bit quicker to maybe group some stuff up together. But greater at 50, this is fine. Iron Skin, again, this is adjustable to whatever you want. I'm liking Steel Skin. It kind of gives you your Iron Skin like a really, really high, low cooldown. So like when all of your stuff's proccing, like Obsidian Ring, with all of your cooldown reduction already, you can pretty much have Iron Skin up like most of the time, which is really, really nice. The other option for that is probably Flash. When you take damage, you gain 60% movement speed, and you move unhindered through enemies. So yeah, this is great for like escaping if you're dying, but so far greater of 50, I haven't even like come close to dying yet. So don't know how much you'll need it. Obviously gear dependent, but yeah, that's another option for it. And then Akarat's Champion. Absolutely crucial. I'm using Prophet. It gives you 150% extra armor. Now, Akarat's Champion is almost up all the time. I think I need like 10% more cooldown reduction, which I can get, and it'll be up 100% of the time. So this pretty much means like every 20 seconds you get a fatal damage active. So every 20 seconds you reactivate it, you can die again. So combined with your talents that already makes it so you can't die, indestructible, yeah, you're not dying. It's great for greater rifts. But again, I mean, you can change this for whatever. I mean, Firestarter's kind of cool. And maybe Hasteful, but I feel like attack speed is at the point it's fine. Now, like I said before, we're not using Falling Sword. I honestly, guys, I don't like it. It feels clunky. The 50% damage reduction seems meh. I don't know. Call me out on it if I'm wrong, but I just don't like it. I don't feel like it fits in the build. And then the fourth one I'm using Laws of Valor. My survivability is at a really comfortable spot, giving me 100% crit damage. Attack speed's always good with this build. The faster you cast hammers, the better, because you essentially have no wrath limit. If you're having survivability issues, Laws of Justice goes really, really good with a movable object. Reason being is 7,000 armor, 5 seconds. The cooldown is very low because you're resetting your cooldowns quite quickly with all of the cooldown reduction and everything. So that's up probably like 75% of the time. And then combined with Akarat's Champion with Prophet, already 150% extra armor. Yeah, that 7,000 armor is like extrapolating big time. and your survivability goes up. Like I saw like 100 million toughness earlier or something. Yeah, so overall, these work really, really well. Let's have a look at the passives. Now with the passives, once again, it's kind of like you can pick what you want, but these I'd say are the strongest. 20% flat damage with blunt, can't go wrong. A movable object, sorry, indestructible, great. I mean, like, you know, for greater rifts, like this is crucial for greater rifts, because every death, like, for competitiveness, every death, just like, you might as well just restart the rift pretty much sometimes. It gets to the point where, like, if you die twice, yeah, unless you're in, like, a really good zombie rift, you might as well restart the rift. So this kind of thing is absolutely crucial for when damage is high. But, like, if you're just farming T10 and you don't need the survivability, which I think I'm at the point, you can swap it for, like, Holy Cause for 10% damage, or even, like, I don't know, Long Arm of the Law or something. I like Indestructible or Holy Cause. Those are the two that I use. And then Fervor, when wielding a one-handed weapon, you get 15% attack speed. Yeah, speaks for itself. And 15% cooldown reduction, which is also crucial for the build, which we'll go over in the stats soon enough. And then Finery, 1.5% strength per gem. You generally have 6, 7 socketed. I'm not sure if it works on those. I haven't actually looked into it. But yeah, it adds up to a lot of strength. I don't know my hotkeys here, apparently. As you can see, I keep doing that. But yeah, guys, that's the build. If you guys have any moderations, if you guys have any alterations to the build that you can use Falling Sword with, let me know, because I actually want to try to make it work, but so far I haven't been able to. But yeah, guys, that's the build. It's just fucking awesome. I love it so much. It's like the Crusader I've always wanted to play, and I've never been able to. I've always played with Blessed Hammer on the Crusader, even though it sucks. But, you know, it doesn't really work well in T6 when it blows that much, unless you're using... No, it just sucks. But now it's awesome. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section below what you think of the build. I'm definitely interested to see. So moving on to the actual stats you'll be aiming for and some of the gear you want. Don't crucify me if I'm wrong here. It's still early PTR, but so far this is what has been working for me really, really well. Primarily I've been aiming for cooldown reduction. So like Helm, my survivability is just high enough now to drop that 13% life and go cooldown reduction. And then I haven't found gloves good enough for cooldown reduction yet. But you want to be aiming for probably like, honestly, 45% would be ideal. Like, I'm almost keeping Akarat's champion up 100% of the time, and that's the goal of a cooldown reduction, is to get that to up all of the time. Because then you're like a god constantly. So 45% is probably roughly the number you're looking for. Anything like maybe 50 and higher might be a bit too much, I'd say. And then generally we want to go for the main stats you always go for. Critical hit damage and critical hit chance are really, really good. I want to say more attack speed, but it's hard to find the slot on the gear to get attack speed as well. Like, as you can see, my Convention of Elements, like, where am I going to put attack speed on that? I'm probably not going to want to pick it over strength. It just doesn't seem worth it. Again, on my Unity, like, I don't really want to replace the damage on elites because it's pretty good, although you might be able to, but yeah, it's hard to fit the attack speed on the gear. Like, if I didn't have Vitality on this, I'd have cooldown reduction. So yeah, attack speed's good, but meh. Other than that, you want to get Blessed Hammer on everything you can. Again, my helm does not have it, but the Vitality would be replaced with Blessed Hammer damage. Blessed Hammer damage on my boots. And then, again, all resist on here. I definitely replace all resist, by the way. I feel like the life per spent on this build is very, very strong. And if you can fit it on at least one item, your recovery is like a lie. Because it says it's that high, but since you're using this much Wrath that quickly, yeah, it's really, really good. And since you regen it so well, like, your health like continuously like streams up. So if you can fit Wrath per life per Wrath spent, try to. But yeah, like that. So on that shield, primarily I'd want strength attacks, critical hit chance, Blessed Hammer damage, and life per Wrath spent. Bracers, whatever stat you're using. So I'm using Holy and crits, the usual. And then on my neck, if I could, I'd probably replace strength with Holy damage. Because I feel like the Holy damage would give me more than the strength would in terms of DPS. I've yet to find a neck that good yet. But yeah, I feel like I'd aim for critical hit damage, critical hit chance, and with a socket, of course, because you want to fit your gems in, as well as holy damage. Because we don't get that much holy damage with this build. 40% is like the cap, essentially. So anything above 40%, it starts to like fade off with like DRs, but 40% is like really good. So yeah, I'd replace that like 1,000 strength with the 20% any day, I'm pretty sure. And then everything else, you just want to aim for like, you want to get some defensive stats on there. The chest is really nice because you can just replace that falling sword damage, which I think seems like it's on all of them, with a defensive stat. So like life's good, all resist, armor, things like that. Again, defensive stats. Belt-wise, String of Ears is probably what you want to aim for in terms of like higher Greater Rifts, but pretty much the point I'm at, Greater Rift 50. This is awesome. Like the damage is good. I don't die. Dying isn't a thing I do. So yeah, Witching Hour is absolutely fantastic. If you can't get your hands on one of those, I think I was using beforehand. Man, I hate this this slow. Oh no, I was using some stupid belt with attack speed, that whatever it was called. Pretty much any belt with defensive stats will replace any of these. So like strength, vitality, all resistant armor. That's like ideal for survivability. But Witching Hour is really, really good. String of Ears is really, really, really good. The damage reduction off of melee attacks is pretty huge. But yeah, guys, that's about it for gearing. If you have any more questions, ask in the comment section below. Weapon-wise, by the way, yeah, you want to aim for raw damage, strength, slap your gift on there. And Wrath per life spent, I don't know, I like it. You could probably, if you didn't fancy that, you didn't like that, you could swap it for attack speed, cooldown reduction, whatever you're missing. But yeah, guys, that's about it for gearing. Pretty straightforward. We'll go over really quickly just ring choices and what I've used pretty much. Now, again, this isn't like anything concrete because it's down to a bit of playstyle, along with you know, it being a bit early to guarantee what's the best. Now, Unity, I mean, this is just ridiculous. Unity is just too good to turn down, in my opinion, especially if you're soloing Greater Rifts. In multiplayer, maybe not. Unity's not very good, but on your own, Greater Rifts, yeah, this is fantastic. And then Convention of Elements, man, this ring, like, you know, it procs holy, and my hammers are critting for like 2 bill or something stupid like that. That's not even that high, but it's the fact that you're casting like 1.5 a second or something that makes it so good. So yeah, that's something to definitely go for. And then Stone of Jordan, if you can get your hands on a good Stone of Jordan, do it, because that's also a good replacement in case you can't find any of these. So like when I go into multiplayer parties, I'll probably be swapping in a good Stone of Jordan with holy damage, just because it's such a good ring. It's still really, really good. Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, with this build we're using right now, it's a must. You must have this ring. Equip it with your cube because the stats on it blow so badly. The only thing that I hate to see is like if you don't pick up like a... I found this on live, by the way. I was so lucky. This ring at 200%. This wasn't even on PTR. But if you're not lucky enough to find like a high percent damage one, it'd be nice to like make that stat perfect with a cube. But the stat trade-off between Obsidian Ring and Convention of Elements, like the critical hit damage and critical hit chance, just isn't worth it. Because like Obsidian Ring doesn't come with stats. It just comes with like cooldown reduction, attack speed, resource cost reduction, and like, yeah. It's stupid. They got to put some stats on it to make it like so you could put that in the cube and then just equip that. Because this has no max stat. Like if it was reduced to cooldown between 1 and 3 seconds, then yeah, you'd benefit from the cube. But we don't get that perfect benefit from the cube, which is kind of unfortunate. And then while we're on the cube, really quickly, we'll just go over the other parts I've been using. So I've been using Furnace, 50% damage versus elites. Oh man, honestly, I find this too hard to turn down. Like, just everything just seems really mediocre. This is the one increases the size of your blessed hammer, so I guess they do more damage somehow. I don't know. I just don't like it. A good way to build this, instead of using Johan's arguments, you could equip a furnace and then use the Johan's arguments and replace the furnace. This would probably be like a lot more damage. I just haven't found a furnace to actually use yet. So like if you equipped your furnace, made the attack speed 100% through your cube, then your furnace would be hitting probably like way, way harder. But yeah, like I said, I haven't got to test that yet, but that's probably the case. But don't quote me on it. And then Gabriel's Vengeance. Now, again, I'm at the point now where my Reaper's Wraps aren't useful because my regen is so high. So the only one I could find that was even close to being like good would have been, where is it? It's the Helm. Is it Leoric's Crown I'm thinking of? I've gone blind. Yeah, now I'm pretty sure I'm going to equip the pair of Gabriel's Wraps with as close to 100% as I can, and then use the Leoric's Crown for the extra 12.5% cooldown reduction. And that'll get me in that sweet spot with cooldown reduction as well. But yeah, you'll get to the point where like you'll just find your Reaper's Wraps kind of pointless. And you might want to swap them out. So definitely think about that. And then Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, which with this build is irreplaceable. So yeah, I haven't even thought of replacing it. It just hasn't crossed my mind. But yeah, guys, that's about it for the cube itself. Definitely in the future, over the next like few weeks, I'll be putting a comment on the screen below if it's definitely better. But I'm pretty sure a furnace equip with Johanna's argument cubed would be better, because you'd be hitting, your attacks would be hitting harder with the furnace, but you'd be getting that amazing attack speed off of the one-hander. And it kind of gets to the point where like your attack speed's too high. It's kind of hard to like manage sometimes. But yeah, I'll let you know on the screen in the next few weeks. But yeah, guys, that's it for the cube. Okay, guys, so that wraps it up for today's guide. Hopefully you found that helpful. If you have any comments, put them in the section below. Let me know if you agree with the build, if you disagree, if you have any alterations, or if you have a completely new build of your own that you wanted showcased in one of my videos. If it's good enough and I enjoy it, or if it's even fun, I'll make a video on it. So let me know in the section below and just explain why you chose the choices you chose, really. But yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. Definitely like and subscribe if you liked the video. And that wraps it up for today. So thanks, guys. Bye-bye.